We continue the discussion which we had started in the last two sessions. We are talking about a very simple method of dealing with AC circuits, especially for, or not especially, only for sinusoidal inputs. So we discussed one circuit, we will go through some other circuits which are quite interesting, and I am sure that it would be very easy for everybody of us to analyze it. So what we are having is that for resistor, inductor and capacitor, when we apply a sinusoid, for resistor there is no phase shift, there is a defined ratio between, when input is sinusoidal, everything in the system is sinusoidal, we expect things to be applied of same frequency. If we use multiple frequencies, then that would be somewhat different part of the story. We will deal with that also at leisure time as a self-study, not right now when we are coming at the end of the semester. So when we apply sinusoid for AC for resistor, when we apply sinusoid, the input is of the type A sine omega t plus phi. A sine omega t plus phi. In that case, for resistor, if voltage is A sine omega t plus phi, for resistor current is A upon R sine omega t plus phi. For capacitor current is A upon some impedance sine of omega t plus phi, but that impedance is complex in this imaginary. So I am again telling same thing in different language. If I apply A sine omega t plus phi as input to a resistance R, if this is voltage Vt, and for resistor R, It is A upon R sine of omega t plus phi. So for sinusoidal voltage, there is sinusoidal current of same phase. So voltage and current are in phase. For capacitor C, It is equal to, we say that A upon 1 upon j omega C, or we can multiply by minus j upon omega C. So if this A upon j omega C sine of omega t plus phi, or if when I take this in the denominator numerator, so it is A omega C j sine of omega t plus phi. So j sine is cos, that is A omega C cos omega t plus phi. So there is a phase shift of 90 degrees between voltage sine omega sine and this is cosine. And for inductor L, what we get, it is as It is equal to A upon j omega L sine omega t plus phi, that is equal to, when I say j, multiply numerator and denominator by j, so I get A upon omega C, multiplying j and j, it becomes minus 1, so it is minus j sine omega t plus phi. So that is same as minus A, sorry, not omega, it's omega L cos omega t plus phi. So if input is sine wave sinusoidal, output current, if voltage sinusoidal, current is sinusoid of same phase. For capacitor, cosine, input sine, output current, so voltage sine, current cosine. For inductor, voltage sine, current minus cosine. So 90 degree for resistor in phase, for capacitor 90 degrees phase on one side, for inductor 90 degrees phase on the other side. So what we can say, current for if I apply same voltage to an inductor and a capacitor, the current in the inductor and capacitor would be, so I will show you how interestingly it becomes. So we discussed series circuit till last time. We will go through parallel circuit and try my level best to explain the theme. Friends, what I think is that the module number 3 and 4, we are discussing together. Module number 1, 2 and 5 we have finished to a majority extent. Module number 3 and 4 we are discussing right now together, and only thing which remains is module number 6, which we can easily cover. So now if I have an inductor and a capacitor, if I connect like this, so it's a very interesting phenomenon, and I want things should come from within yourself. Instead of me telling something. So to start with, I take 1 Henry, 1 farad, and I apply again sine omega t, V in t equal to sine omega t. The question is, compute ILT and ICT, and obviously IT. Compute ILT, ICT and IT. So I want that you should think on it. Everything will be function of omega, and when everything is function of omega, obviously what will happen is in the final expression term of currents, omega will come, and very interesting phenomenon takes place for various omegas that I would like to focus at a later stage. So obviously, how will you find now? There is a very interesting way with which you can find the current. So we make use of simple working rule of current through, if a sinusoid is applied, then current through capacitor is voltage upon capacitive reactance, where capacitive reactance is either 1 upon j omega c or minus j upon omega c. And for inductor, the current through inductor is voltage upon XL, where XL is the inductive reactance, which is equal to j omega L. So there is no need of writing differential equation once again. We use the simple logic, j square equal to minus 1, and j sine is cos. Only two things we use, j square equal to minus 1 and j sine is cos. That will simplify everything. So we proceed with. So what would be ILT? Same volt, it is a parallel combination of L and C. It's a parallel combination of L and C. So see, I am trying my level best to simplify the things. Everything is available in the book. The situation when we learned this subject almost 3 decades back, we were not in a position to get it in other than one book or so, and to get that book itself was not so easy. So for you now, it's quite simple. You can just have Google's, the syllabus is there, Google is there. Only thing is that yesterday Google was not completely down. Google servers were down, so Google search was going on. So syllabus is there, point this syllabus you can have, Google search, and you get a note. So that you can do anything. So strictly speaking, syllabus completion in a classical sense is an issue which is completely out of scope now. What I want is, I want to explain it in such a manner that even a normal student should understand it quite easily. So here, what would be ILT? Therefore, few students who are very much active might find it repetition, but I think that they can skip some things anyway. When I say they can, I am telling it as if they are not doing it. So the students are wise and smart enough, but I hope that I will try my level best to fulfill the purpose for which the classrooms are meant for. So ILT is equal to V in T upon XL, that is equal to V in T is sine omega T upon XL is J omega L. L I have deliberately taken as 1 Henry. So ILT is equal to, this is 1, so sin omega T upon J omega, multiplying numerator and denominator by J sin omega T upon J square is minus 1 minus omega. So it is minus 1 upon omega J sin omega T, and what I know is J sin is cos, so it is minus 1 upon omega cos omega T. So I write here ILT is equal to minus 1 upon omega cos omega T. Is it clear now? What is ICT? ICT is equal to V in T. I write all step, I don't skip any step. V in T upon XC, that is equal to sin omega T upon 1 upon J omega C. C is 1. So this is J omega sin omega T. If I just take omega on this side, I don't skip omega J sin omega T, that is omega cos omega T. J sin is cos. So I write ICT, I am assuming this direction, is equal to omega cos omega. What is IT? What is IT? IT is ILT plus ICT. That is equal to this plus this. So omega minus 1 upon omega cos omega T is IT. So it is very clear that this is a sinusoid, this is a sinusoid, this is a sinusoid. So if I plot, so I wanted to have a complete simplified theme of this. If I plot it, in that case, it is V in T sine, then cosine. So ICT is cosine. ILT is exactly reverse of this. So what we find is that the current, when current is in this direction in inductor, it is in this direction as capacitor, they are exactly 180 degrees out of phase of each other, and net current would be addition of these two. So omega cos omega t minus 1 upon omega cos omega t. Then obviously there will be a situation where inductor current and capacitor current, are always opposite in phase. In an LC parallel circuit, inductor current and capacitor current are always opposite in phase with each other. So it is cos omega t, it is minus cos omega t. So cos omega t and minus cos omega t are already out of phase. Now values are omega and minus 1 upon omega and 1 upon omega. Cos omega t and minus cos omega t are opposite in phase and values are omega and 1 upon omega. Then there is a likelihood, obviously there is a situation where omega and 1 upon omega are equal. And if omega and 1 upon omega are equal, the current through inductor and current through capacitor are always opposite. And now if when omega and 1 upon omega are equal, in that case they will be equal and opposite. Current through capacitor, current through inductor will be equal and opposite for omega equal to 1, because omega and 1 upon omega are equal for omega equal to 1, or in that case when they are already opposite, when they are equal, their sum will be 0. The same I can derive from this. It is equal to omega minus 1 upon omega cos omega t. So if omega equal to 1 upon omega, that is if omega is equal to 1 upon omega, that means omega square equal to 1, that is omega is equal to plus minus 1. So sinusoid of negative frequency is something which may be a hard concept to understand, but as regards to sinusoid, positive and negative frequency don't matter much. We will explain it using a phasor, but right now that is not so important. So we go with when omega equal to what? So what happens when omega equal to minus 1? Let us not consider. Omega square equal to 1 has two roots. Omega is plus 1, omega is minus 1. At least we can say for omega equal to 1, what will happen? If I apply a sinusoid of frequency omega equal to 1, that is if angular frequency is 1, that is 2 pi f equal to 1, f is equal to 1 upon 2 pi hertz. For L equal to 1 and C equal to 1, it is called as resonant frequency. Omega equal to 1 upon 2 pi hertz. If for this frequency, omega and 1 upon omega become equal, so capacitor current and inductor current are already opposite, they become equal and opposite, they cancel each other, so total current is 0. So total current is 0 in this case. So we can alternatively also explain same thing. That also we will discuss. I hope that you will understand that. So by many methods we can simply try to understand what is the concept. This is called as resonance, where resistor for a LC parallel circuit, when inductor current and capacitor current are equal, are always opposite, when they are equal, it is called as resonance. So in this case, for omega equal to 1, IT is equal to 0. So what is there? You have applied voltage, but there is no current. So if I put their parallel combination as a load, if I have a load which is equal to 1. It is if I apply sin t here, and connect this, it would be 0. So I am applying voltage but there is no current. What does it mean? I am applying voltage but there is no current. What does it mean? It is an infinite impedance. It is an open circuit. So how we can do that? A parallel combination. Suppose I have got this resistance and this resistance, and if I look from this, what I look as effective resistance of these two resistance, individual resistance in parallel. So what is the formula for parallel resistance? R1 R2. So it is R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. Because in the last lecture we have discussed that the concept of reactance of inductor and capacitance. रिएक्टर म्हणजे काय तर इंडक्टर किंवा कॅपॅसिटरची रेझिस्टन्स सारखी प्रॉपर्टी म्हणजे रिएक्टन्स. फरक एवढाच आहे की रिएक्टन्स मध्ये जे कंपोनेंट येतो रेझिस्टन्स मध्ये तो येत नाही. बट वन्स वी गेट दॅट कंपोनेंट and once we define that the reactance of inductor is j omega L and reactance of capacitor is either 1 upon j omega C or minus j upon omega C, then XC and XL we can use resistance like. Means when we connect L and C in series, their net reactance is addition of them. When we connect them in parallel, same formula of resistance. So resistance and reactance, we can call this overall as impedance. So impedance can comprise of only resistance and capacitance, resistance and inductance, or all three. When I say all three, inductance and capacitance, when you connect in either in series or in parallel, they effectively act as either inductance or capacitance depending upon the frequency of operation, or they act as resistance or they act as infinite resistance. I will show it very easily now. So what is the parallel combination? What is the parallel combination of this? If I can alternatively also discuss if 1 Henry. So the question is, I ask the question. Those who want to answer on their own should put the pause button. Remaining should watch. Those who have put the pause button should watch it later on and verify the results. The question is, what is the effective impedance of LC parallel combination? What is the effective impedance of LC parallel combination? We start with L equal to 1 and 1 Henry, C equal to 1 farad. So this is what we want to find out. 1 Henry, 1 farad. So net impedance Z of L and C in parallel, this I can say Z1, this I can say Z2. So it is Z1, Z2 upon Z1 plus Z2. What is Z1? For 1 Henry inductance, inductive reactance is J omega L. So Z1 is equal to J omega L, that is equal to J omega, and Z2 is equal to minus Z2 is equal to 1 upon J omega C. C is 1, so 1 upon J omega, or same I can say as minus J upon omega. So inductive reactance is J omega, capacitive reactance is 1 upon J omega or minus J upon omega for values of inductor and capacitor as 1 Henry and 1 farad. If we can generalize also, if we generalize, then in the formula instead of 1 Henry and 1 farad, the values of L and C will come, which we will deal separately. So in this case now we can go for Z1 is J omega, Z2 is minus J upon omega upon J omega plus Z2 minus J upon omega. who want can continue. Those who want to do on their own should put a pause and then continue. We are otherwise taking a 2-minute break, so you can watch after the break. Thank you.